is Miriam Cutelis. I am a Cognomovement practitioner. Welcome to Let's Cogno That, where each video explores a fun and creative way to use Cognomovement to improve your life. Now let's go have some fun. Hey guys, this is Miriam Cutelis. Today we are going to play with finding and using your power position. This might be if you are having a race coming up in sports, you have a challenge coming up of any sort, or you're going to undertake something at work and you need an extra boost. Now, did you know that you can recreate feelings of success in your body at any given moment? All right. I didn't either until just recently. And did you know that the more you create them, the more those very experiences are then attracted to you? So you're creating them in your body at will, and then more experiences come your way because you're able to create those feelings inside your body, and they're more attracted to you. Now, recently, if you follow Bill McKenna and Liz Larson, the creators of Cognomovement, they posted a video about finding your love direction, or a position in which your eye focuses on, in which, when you think about things that you love, like a place you love, a pet, or a person that who you love very much non-romantically. So once you find that space, you're able to work in manifesting, or you're able to work with moving your eye in that direction to get things to happen for you. So then it made me think that obviously there are positions for every feeling. So if you're angry, your eye might go, if you're recalling an angry memory, your eye might go in a specific location. So there's a location for every specific feeling. Okay. So let's think about the power position. Why the power position? I was thinking, as a woman, I find this very important. I did not realize just how disempowered I have been sort of accustomed to feeling until I completed my first ever race. And that happened around the time I was 40. I started to run after realizing that I couldn't make it around the block without sort of feeling like choked up and really, really tired. So I started working out, and then I discovered races. And then I read this book called Born to Run by Christopher McDougall. And that really fired me up. And so I started running and I started doing races. And at age 40, I completed my first ever long race, which was a 50K in Circleville, West Virginia. And so as women, also, we are not used to feeling powerful. So that, in addition to the fact that we are also people pleasers, we often are caretakers. And also, we don't usually want to disappoint the people around us. So all of that sort of prepares us to always be not really in our power, and just sort of allow others to be. But for us to feel empowered, it has never been a priority. So when I turned 40 and I did this race, and I finished this race, and this instant I crossed that line and I realized I had just completed 31 miles using my body and using the training I've put in. There was nothing like that feeling. So I find myself very often reaching back to that feeling when I need a little pep up. And so I wanted to sort of guide you into a little way in which you can, on your own, work on finding that power position. And this is how I've been doing it, and it's really been helpful for me. And I'm going to give you all the little pieces right here. Okay. So, and this is through my own experience. And if you have, if there's things in my list that work for you, that's wonderful. If you have other suggestions, I would love to hear it. But this is not the end all be all of how to find your power position. So, in my own exploration, I find it really easy to recall that moment in which I crossed the finish line. And there's other moments too, but I find it really easy to get to that moment when I listen to specific songs. And if you're a runner or if you work out and you most likely, maybe you're using music already to get you there. But there are specific songs that I could hear and I will immediately get this reserve of energy from I don't know where. So I think that's really important. So if you are trying to complete a race or meet a challenge and get a little more energy, you already have a song, most likely, that kind of gets you emotionally, mentally there. So I would use that as my first piece, and you need a couple of different pieces there. And I noticed that the eye position that works for me when I sort of collect myself and think about that moment, my eye position is sort of above eye level. And then what I notice is not just the eye position, but also the head position. So my head is turned a slightly bit down. My eyes are slightly bit up. And I also have a very straight posture. So all of those three pieces together with the music and um, and combined with, I would say, some verbal affirmations really do wonders to bring me to that space. And like I said, once you're in that space, you're able to have an enormous reserve of energy that you didn't even think was possible. So again, I'm going to sort of guide you into it a little bit. So I want you to think of a time that you stood in your power. And for all of us, it's going to be different things. Maybe it's the time that you told someone how you really felt and you were afraid to do that and you finally broke through and you're able to tell them how you felt, or a time you won something after working hard. You were rewarded for hard work, or it doesn't really matter what it is. It's when whatever brought up that signature feeling of being and standing in your power. So you're going to find what that is. And when you think about it, I want you to quickly take a mental snapshot of where your eyes are focused, where your eyes go, and how you're sitting, and what position is your head in? Is it, straight up? Is it tilted one way? Is it tilted down? And I want you to take a mental note, and if you think you're going to forget, write it down. And so, um, when I was planning for this, I was thinking of pets or animals, or even like a lion when it's ready to pounce. And of course, when you're in your power position, you are going to tilt your head down and look intently forward. So that made sense to me, why that would be my power position, and most likely many others' power position. So, and that might be yours, might not be yours, whatever it is. See how it feels to try it on. So we're going to approach this it's like a multi-level approach. We're going to, you're going to pause the video and I want you to write some affirmations that directly counteract sort of anything that has to do with weakness. So for me, hills are really scary. And every time I see a hill, I don't even have to be climbing it yet. I'm just tired already. So I'm going to write an affirmation that might sound like I eat hills like candy, like just something that very directly does a 180 from that fear that I have. So I would suggest to write that down. I would then get music that very much, heightens your energy already. And all of us already have a couple of those songs that grew up with them that immediately gives us that reserve of energy. I would also pay attention to breathing. Making sure a lot of us do a lot of very shallow breathing. And so there's a lot of space still in our lungs. And the way that we end up filling all of that space in our lungs is actually breathing in deeply, but also slowly. And that really brings down our heart rate and allows us to really be focused on what we're saying. Also, visiting this place, whatever the eye location is, and having all these pieces come together often is better. And I call it trying it on, try it all on together. And I'm a huge believer of fake it till you make it. So if you don't feel like you can climb hills right now, or you can't feel like you can eat hills like candy, try it on. Set the posture, tilt the head, focus your eyes on that position of that we identified as our power position. And say your affirmations. I eat hills like candy, or whatever your affirmations are, and do it as often as possible. One thing I will say is that do map in your any do a map in after doing these, because you're basically focusing in one area for a very extended amount of time or many times a day. So maybe at the end of the day or at the end of several occasions, you're going to grab a ball and you're going to move it left to right, low to high. And that is called a map in. And just to go back to balanced and go back to neutral. Because if our power position is to the right and we are really focusing in that area for the entire day or several times a day to kind of get that reserve of energy up and really tune in to that energy level, we are going to want to balance our energies back up. So remember to use the ball to follow the ball with both hands and your eyes, and start low and move it up, calling out the colors that you see. And that is called a map in. So don't forget to do that. And like I said, this has been really helpful to be able to, in an instant, recall a moment in which you stood in your power or felt powerful. And you can really recall it at any given moment in order to get an extra boost or an extra boost of energy that you need. And this is wonderful if you're in sports, but also if you are meeting a challenge at work and you just want to be like pinpoint focused on something. Just remember to put all those pieces together. And I'm going to go over them really quick again. Eye position. I highly recommend music, especially if you already have an association. For me, it's Sia, Unstoppable. That song, anytime I hear it, the words in it really help me pinpoint focus on my goal. But forget not just eye posture, but eye position, but also body posture and head position. Like I told you, my posture is straight up. My head position is slightly tilted down, and my eyes are a slightly off center to the right. And that is my power position. And it's so important to know where yours is so that you can call it at will and use it to your advantage. Um, and the last part of it is use it whenever you need it. Like use it as often as you need it. And if you are not able to recall that power position to find the spot, try different scenarios. It doesn't have to be a day you won. If you've never, let's say you've never raced and you've never won a race, or, I've never won a race, that's for sure. Think of a time you did get rewarded, or you did get something. You will know what signature feeling you would want to recall. And if it's not power, it might be something slightly off of that. It might be a slightly bit different than feeling or being standing in your power. It might be something slightly different. So don't get hung up on that. And again, the last part is breathing. And I love affirmations. So write down an affirmation that directly counteracts that fear you have. And of course, you're going to use your voice also to voice that affirmation as you're holding that posture. And in the end, don't forget to map in. On September 9th through September 13th is going to be a Cogno Conscious event. And please go to the Cognomovement website to find out more information. But if you're interested in joining there, you can get 10% off by putting the coupon code Miriam, which is my first name, Miriam. Make sure you capitalize the M. And this year it's going to be a larger space, and it's in San Diego, California. Also, I'm available for one-on-one session in Northern Virginia or anywhere in the world on Zoom. So keep watching my YouTube videos, where I will be continuing to explore different ways in which we can play with Cognomovement and learn from it and see all the many different ways in which we can have it help us live a better life. Anyway, and follow my website events. Go to my website, and under the events page, you'll see a lot of the events that I'm getting involved with lately. Anyway, thank you so much. Bye.